I'm going to. All right. Welcome to today's workshop. This is on how business coaches are using Facebook ads to scale their business in 2022. And a lot has changed with Facebook ads. So I'm going to go into some of those things, some of the changes, some of the mistakes that are really being made in the name of just like taking action, sometimes just misinformation. And then through just my experience as a marketing company owner, and what I'm seeing with clients and those who potential prospects, things like that. So I'm going to get right into it today. If you have any questions, please use the chat. And again, at the end, I'm going to have a quick Q&A. So if you want to stick around for that, definitely let me know. So Joellen, thank you for being here. Jojo, thank you for being here too as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So how successful business coaches are using Facebook ads to scale their business in 2022. So first of all, thanks for being here. I'm going to go over the 4 mistakes that are commonly being made, what to do instead. And I do have a promise for a trainer. If you stick around with me, if you're getting good information and you want to continue learning this stuff, continue taking action, I'm going to give an opportunity to do that. So just stick around, and that is going to be there. And so without further ado, if we're good to go, give me a thumbs up, give me a nod, use one of the little Zoom features. I'm going to go ahead and get started here, right into everything. So before I do go too much further, thank you, Joellen. So I'm Arfan, but I'm part of a team between me and Jojo here. And you see that we are a digital advertising team. We are the founders and creators of Grow, Automate, Scale, an advertising company that specializes in working with digital entrepreneurs, specifically coaches, business coaches, to help them scale to 6-figure offers. And a lot of our clients are already at 6 figures, but their launches are hitting 5 figures and they want to get to 6 figures. And that's where we really come in. We've helped over 75 coaches in our time together in working with Facebook ads over the years. And we've helped these coaches altogether generate over $5 million in revenue. As we continue launching, that number keeps going up. And we're super excited to be part of that, especially during a time where a lot was unknown. There's a lot happening with the pandemic. But a lot of coaches found a lot of good success online, and it's been really life-changing. So we do specialize with coaches to help them launching one-on-one offers, group coaching programs, workshops, and building funnels that convert, which is why I'm sharing today, because when it comes to Facebook ads, in order to really test any of these things, we need to have enough traffic, we need to have enough leads. And when we're looking to generate leads, there's organic or using paid ads. And when it comes to paid ads, it is the fastest way to reach your ideal client. It's a lot more time effective, and it gives a lot of balance, especially for the busy coach who is doing a lot in their business, where you're responsible for content creation and so much more. I won't go into all that right now. And we started running ads specifically for Facebook in 2018. So going on a little over 4 years now running ads for other coaches. So what doesn't scale your business when running Facebook ads in 2022? So I'm going to go over these 4 mistakes. And if these resonate with you, drop something in the comment, give me a thumbs up, give me something at all. So mistake number 1 is very common. I see is copy somebody else's ad strategy. And I see this so often when I talk to potential clients, that they see their friend or somebody else doing a workshop, a webinar, a 5-day challenge, and they want to do the exact same thing in the exact same way. And what ends up happening is that is a certain strategy that's been developed like that. When I find out more is like often that friend had a coach, had a team to help them develop this specific strategy for their offer. And what sometimes what we're seeing is the tip of the iceberg. We don't see the intricacies of what's behind it, what the email sequence look like, the ad spend behind it, the targeting options, all these different things that go into it, go into making somebody else's strategy successful. And it is such a big mistake when I see it happening. And it's very common too in a lot of programs and courses. There may be just a quick module about Facebook ads. Start implementing just from that module alone. It's not enough information to really be successful with Facebook ads, just watching a 20 or 30 minute training video. Again, it's a tip of the iceberg, and it leads to poor results. High costing per conversions, leads that aren't good quality sometimes, or they don't show up, or it's just leads that are mismatched in total. Which also goes to the second thing that it ultimately comes to wasted money, right? So which leads to the second thing is creating a sales funnel also based on an ad. So this is very, very similar to number one, is copying somebody else's strategy, but this is just totally not even hearing anybody else or watching a video, just totally seeing an ad, scrolling through the news feed, seeing somebody else doing a 5-day challenge. You're like, I'm going to do a 5-day challenge, and just trying to basically muscle through a funnel without knowing the exact strategy that goes behind it. And it's a very, very common mistake. And what ends up happening is we end up starting with the ad versus starting with the offer. So after a new lead comes on, the user experience is rocky and bumpy. It's not a clear path. So it doesn't really always make a lot of sense. And we notice that there's a low conversion rate. That happens very often. It creates just this bad user experience because they're just like, well, wait, are you really going to help me? Are you not going to help me? What's really going on here? And then the offer doesn't sell. So it's negative ROI, no return on ad spend, no return on investment. And there's a lot of work and energy that goes into just launching. And especially when doing it incorrectly, it doesn't really feel good. So it's a very common mistake to not, we want to not start with the offer and not start with the ad. And again, like I mentioned, it does come to the point where the offer doesn't convert. No one wants it. They're like, hey, this is not necessarily for me, or it's too big of a jump. The problem that they came in with, and then what the solution is, it may be too big of a gap where they came in and it's just like, now all of a sudden it's a 5, 6, 7, 8, or $10,000 program that's 6 to 12 months long, and it may not be exactly for them. It might be more of an advanced level. Which comes out to mistake number 3, and this is more related directly to the entrepreneur, directly to like yourself, who, if you're managing your ads, or your team is managing your ads, or a VA or someone like that, is you don't know what to expect. So we end up turning off ads that were good and keep ads running that are bad. So this really happens because of the name of chasing cheap leads versus going after quality and more high quality premium leads. And it's turning off, like there may be an ad set that's converting really well. The leads are taking a lot of action and the conversion rate is really high. The cost per lead might be a little bit higher, maybe 25, 30% higher than a different ad set, but the leads are more engaged and more active, and end up turning that off. And now it's like you're filling the list with less premium leads rather than the most premium leads, just because try to chase this notion of get the lowest cost per lead mentality, and not just let me use advertising to be consistent, to help me to add fuel to my marketing mix. And it really creates some poor conversion rates. And I mentioned it's turning off a higher something that's a higher cost per lead for one is lower, but in the end, it really results in a higher lead cost because the conversion rate is lower. So the amount of leads that actually convert, it costs you higher to get those just because of making an incorrect decision. And this is something that comes with experience, that comes with just the expertise of knowing that, wait a minute, let me take a moment to step back a little bit, look at some additional things. And it's a common mistake that we made because no one really teaches about this. You don't really find this information in courses, and in a short 20, 30-minute video. I've seen so many courses just have, hey, this is a Facebook ads training to help you get leads. And it's just a short 15, 20, 30-minute video. It's super boring. And it doesn't actually go into like, how do you get leads that convert, like actually qualified premium leads? So very, very common mistake. And again, wasted ad spend, loss of capital, just money just going down the drain. Mistake number 4, and this is an interesting one because I've spoken to and I've helped a lot of people who have come to me who don't understand anything about ads, but it's a different mentality. So mistake number 4 is outsourcing when they don't have an understanding about ads. And when I say anything, it's just a total oblivious level. So having zero knowledge of how Facebook advertising works. There's advertising in many different ways, in magazines and billboards, on TV, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. And Facebook and Instagram specifically operates a certain way. So if you're going to use this platform, you want to have an idea of what are you going to be doing? Not just totally like, someone told me to run Facebook ads, I'm coming to run Facebook ads. That's great. We'll have a conversation. We can talk about it maybe in the future once we get to a certain level. But it's before you hire an agency, or before you go into really putting a lot of money behind Facebook ads, is have some knowledge, right? Get some basic understanding of what really is going on in the ads account, so you can be able to, so you don't feel like a foreigner. You can pull up your ads account and be like, okay, things are going good. You don't know everything. You just know enough to be a little bit dangerous and not feel like a foreigner. And what this does is that when you know, this mistake happens, and the result of it is that it causes a bad agency experience. As an agency owner, as a business owner, when someone comes and they don't have any idea and they want to work with us, and they're really just adamant about like, let's work together, it puts a strain on a relationship, because the conversations can progress as quickly. We're not able to strategize as deeply to really get to the core thing, because there's still so much work that needs to be done on the front end, that it doesn't necessarily create the strongest agency done for you experience, a great done with you experience. So we could talk about that if you're interested in like a done with you type of work. But ultimately, it leads in poor conversions and misaligned leads and wasted capital, especially if working with an agency who do decide to take someone on like this. What ends up happening is the agency is not clear on what the business owner wants, because they're also not really clear on all the different strategies to use. So it's a lot of waste. I've heard so many stories. One of my mentors spent $50,000 one time just on a on a launch, and just totally wasn't ready for it. It was a misalignment. A lot of work needed to be done, and ended up just wasting a lot of money. So it's a very common mistake that happens when there is a right time to outsource and there's a wrong time to outsource. So what ends up happening again, it all leads to loss, right? It all kind of points back to that, because, and the reason why I say this is because it's loss of profits, of money, of time, and of energy. So it's one of those things where it's a big effect when it comes down to making somebody's mistake, when it comes to trying to grow the business and trying to do it so with Facebook ads. But the thing is, well, these mistakes happen, but they happen for a reason, right? So why are these mistakes really being made? One of the things I've come across is that they're really just kind of being done because a lot of coaches are trying to find a simple plug and play option that works like a cash machine. Trust me, I would love it too as well. And they are like a trial and error and testing process to be able to develop a funnel that converts like that. But these mistakes will happen because that's often what's being taught. You take a course, you go through the course, all about creating a funnel of sales, a quick advertising portion of it to run ads. You try to do this, and what ends up happening now, it's supposed to be a quick plug and play option, but there's so much more layers to it when it comes to advertising and doing it so effectively, that the first time it runs, it may not be profitable. And it's not everyone's willing to do the work needed to develop a funnel that really converts. And me and my team, we know what it takes. We're willing to do the work and to change and to edit the emails and change the headlines and to test the different audiences and do the things required to make sure we can get the conversion rate to get a positive ROI, and not treat it like something that's a cash machine, but something that does take work. And it is also part of an overall strategy for the entire year of the business. The other thing is trying to rush the process, right? So it's trying to skip over important steps, such as putting an offer out, but not really doing the market research needed. Just trying to get a whole bunch of leads, trying to sell it, and just really trying to rush through the process to get it out there. And it's really where it comes into just following an ad. It's like, oh, I have an offer. I saw an ad for a workshop, a webinar. I could do something similar, and not really knowing the back end of things and the entire strategy to actually convert on the back end. You can get people to show up, but if you don't know what in the back end to convert, then that's a big thing. So rushing the process often causes this. The other thing is well-meaning peers. Like I mentioned, someone tells a friend, hey, run Facebook ads, it'll be able to get you leads, but not really saying much more than that as far as like, why, what do you do with the leads? Where are the leads going? Is the funnel effective, the tech behind it to make sure it works appropriately, things like that, can end up causing a lot of wasted ad spend and just a bad experience too as well. And the other thing, and I love this, is that I've talked to some business owners, and the reason why this happens is because they're an action taker, right? You're going to go through a wall, but do it head first. Like, you're going to make it happen one way or another. You're going to figure it out. You're going to take action. So these mistakes happen, but they're not the end of the world. They're just things that can, little hurdles that can be overcome. If you've made any of these mistakes, you let me know in the comments, drop me, give me a thumbs up or something like that. But I wanted to go over these because these are so common, and it causes a lot of things to go wrong with ads, and it causes a bad experience from not just the user, not the potential clients, but also as a business owner. So One of my clients, Karen, we first started working with her in the early phases when she was doing lower five ticket or 5-figure launches. We worked together and did a few different launches, and we're able to scale. We've actually had 3 6-figure launches in total, but we're able to really go through this. And one thing that she says working with us, that I like the coaching aspect and the responsiveness of our on the team. I've learned a lot and find the collaborative education approach works well for me. For this last launch, my list basically doubled, and ads were integral to get into 20% of the program. In other words, I had 105K launch. And I wanted to really dissect the part about the collaborative educational approach. And the reason why I say this is because Karen, like many coaches, they have a message, they have an offer, they know it's going to work and know it's going to convert. They've done the market research and are continually doing so, but they didn't know Facebook ads. And Karen was super coachable. And when we talked about the strategy and how it works and how to implement, how to execute it properly, she executed on all fronts. And we saw the results in the back end where clients were responding. These cold leads where one of her launch, she was on vacation for half of the launch, and she was just not even doing anything, no socials, no organic or anything like that. So it's one of those things where uh when we collaborate and really strategically plan out how to really put together your Facebook ads so you can actually get the ultimate outcome where you want to get quality premium leads that convert. It's really about that process of really sitting down and let's map this out to I'm gonna go through this right. I want to get ahead of myself, but I really want to comment on that because she really just put into really good words some of the things we do to get results for our clients. So what does scale your business? Joe, I saw you put a comment here. I'm gonna take a look at. I'm the one course with and have been following you. You share in that group. And right about yeah, absolutely. You'll get a ton more questions for sure. I should there's a little message to read aloud, but definitely. So follow along with me here too. You're gonna get some good stuff here to be prepared for. So what does work? So ads complement what is already working in your business. It's one of those things where ads aren't reinventing the wheel or redefining the wheel. They're working with to what you already have in the business. So what are those things that you need to have? Is going to be a defined ICA. So your ideal client avatar, someone that you know for sure, like this person has been well researched. You know where they're spending their time. You know what websites they're visiting, what authors, what books they're reading, what magazines they're reading, what their interests are. You know where they hang out, right? So it's I go fishing, and if I'm going to go fishing, I'm going to go fishing where the fish are, right? So it's one of those things where you know what pond to go into to find your ideal people. So you know what groups they're in, you know these things, they're well defined, you know their pains, their fears, their challenges, their concerns, and able to speak to it very clearly. You have a working offer, so you have something that's going to help them overcome that pain, challenge, fear, and help them to obtain that desire and that outcome that they truly want, whatever that is. And as a coach, it's going to be health, wealth, relationships. Those are typically the 3 categories. And then, of course, a working message. So basically, piecing that. When I say a working message, is a way to attract your ideal client from the front end, to where they can say they can raise their hand and say, yes, that's me. And then to take them to the back end to where they say, yes, I want to be part of your program. That's what a working message is, something that can attract people from the front end and take them through a strategic process or a funnel to convert them all the way. Some people are going to come cold and they may not be ready for your program at that super cold level just because they have different levels of awareness. And we want to get them aware enough to where they can say yes to your program. So that's part of a working message. And those things are all going to be integral because they're going to go into ads and they're going to add fuel to what you're already doing. They're going to complement your launches. They're going to complement your organic strategies you're already implementing. So the next thing is the ads need to be customized to your business. So your ads create your own unique user experience. As much as we could say, hey, let's copy somebody else's ad, is you're still going to create a unique user experience, and your users are going to remember that. They're going to remember when they first kind of came across you, when they came across your ad, how they felt, and that's going to help them to really go through your funnel in a way that's going to help them to convert and become a client, whether that's a live launch or evergreen or whatever approach you're taking. So you want to create your own unique user experience. The thing is, 90% or more of your target audience often aren't necessarily looking and seeing that you're taking them to a sales process, although they're going to a sales process, right? So that's the feel that you want to have from the ads. Ads are just the front, the touch point of it. The other thing is what launch method is best for your ICA and offer. It may not be a webinar or a workshop or a challenge or something like that. Everything is a little bit different. Price point, target audience, level of awareness, someone who's actively seeking a solution to a problem right now, which is why we love working with all coaches, but business coaches, especially and health coaches, because often the ideal client are seeking a solution to a problem they have right now, and they're more quicker to take action, and you can get results off of a workshop and a webinar much quicker than needing to do a 14-day live launch event or something like that, where it might be a different offer. But the thing is, it's really just customizing your ads to that of your business. And the other thing is a consistent messaging and strategic placement of your offers. And I mentioned that a little bit before, where again, your message has to be able to take your ideal client from the level they're at to where you need them to be part of your program. And they may need to already do some work in order to be part of the program. So for example, as an agency or a marketing company, we need clients to have things in place. They need to have a CRM. They need to have a way to capture leads, an email marketing system. They need to have a way to design landing page and things like that. We can do all that for them, but they need to have the platform in place, and ideally already have a process that's converting clients, so we can scale that. We can add fuel to the fire, and they don't have to rely so much on organic methods. All right, if you guys are with me here, let me know. So I'm gonna grab a drink of water really quick. I just want to for the next section. Alrighty, so Joanne asked, are there any type of ads that you find work best? I'll get to that towards the end of the Q&A, so I'll touch on that. So the other thing with this is that, for ads to work is that your ads should be measurable in the short term and long term. And things super short term, like 7 days, 30 days, 90 days. These are just kind of like your average lead cost. What is the cost you to get leads in? And how are those leads performing over 7 days? Already opening up the emails. You can't expect too much from them unless you have like a low ticket offer or something they can purchase. But from the 7, 30, and 90 days, you can get a consistent idea of what is it costing you on average to obtain a lead. What are those leads doing? Are they kind of converting? 180 to 365 days, you should know, like, how long does it take you for your leads to convert? Some leads can convert pretty quickly within 3 to 4 or 5, 6 weeks to a launch event. Others may need more time depending on your approach. But nonetheless, you can measure those things in the short term and long term. So again, your average cost to acquire leads and your average earnings per lead. So just to know, like, okay, well, are you generating money? Are your leads converting? If you're going to run ads, you want to make sure you're generating sales. And the only way to do that is to track it over the long term and to take your leads through multiple sales cycle. They might not and probably won't purchase through the first one, as a small percentage you do. But this is how you're going to scale and grow your business, is to generate the leads, take them through sales cycle, because someone who signs up on day 1 but converts on day 365, you may have paid $3 on day 1, but it took them a long time to convert. And sometimes we have to be aware of that in our mind to know that we're playing a long-term game when it comes to advertising. So the other part of this here is knowing and understanding how advertising works so you can push the right buttons to scale your business. So this is just in general, and I've touched about this, and I talk about this a lot with my clients, because they often ask me, so Arpan, how do I get the best result out of my Facebook ads? And they're not really asking like, how much money should I put behind it? They want to know, like, if I'm running ads to obtain leads, how do I get the most out of it? And this is one of those things where if you understand your advertising strategy, it's going to help you to get the most out of it. Not just blindly say, I want to run Facebook ads because someone I purchased a course from told me to, but understanding, okay, what is the exact strategic approach I'm taking? What are my leads doing, and how am I attaining my leads to get them to that, right? So again, just enough to run effective ads, the basics, to be able to say, like, how my ads doing, and do I need to, am I in trouble or am I okay? Again, know how why launch strategy works and the role of ads in the process, and then identify your lead to client lifecycle to better plan out your entire year launch strategy. So if people are going to take a while to convert, you may need to generate leads for a few months before you go into a launch strategy. It's one of those things where again, is unique and custom to your business, and that's what makes it work. That's what makes it convert versus trying to do a plug and play approach and formula. So I want to touch on a little bit about how to create ads to scale your coaching business in 2022. And what I'm going to focus on is on copy. And the reason why is because this is what helps to actually scale. Because ultimately, if you can get the right people on your list, it doesn't matter if you're getting a $10 lead versus a $5 lead, as long as they're converting. And what helps them to convert is having a really great focus on your messaging and on your copy. And there are three, I'm gonna go through a few parts of the copy that you really want to have. There are three parts. So the first one is the hook. And this is the different messaging angles that you use to attract your ideal client. And it's best used as a question or a statement. Ideally, and the question was asked, what type of ads do you find work the best? Is this the ads that use and test different messaging angles to attract the right ideal client? Because at the end of the day, if you analyze all ads, you have image ads and video ads, and they're really just all the same, right? It's just an image, video, or copy. What makes them work work the best is having the right message attached to it. So, a good headline, crafting the copy very well. So that's number one for copy. Number two for copy is a story. So the content of the actual ad copy, once you hook somebody in, you want to start reeling them in. And what we do this is with our story. So it's creating a user experience to the ad to pull out your ideal client. To think of it, right? Someone's scrolling through Facebook, they have a challenge, a pain, a fear, and a concern that they're actively seeking a solution for. They see your ad, you hook them, you have a very, very clear question or call to action. They see that, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I am trying to grow my business, scale my business with Facebook ads. So they want to read more. And we share a little story. And often, like, I'll share a story about how we were able to scale our business and using and leveraging ads and being able to retire from corporate. So stories of my clients like Karen, who was able to spend a few $1,000s in ads and then slowly start to the point where now she's spending thousands and earning six figures in the process of doing it. We could share these experiences. That way someone reading this thing, I'm like, hey, you're going to pull out your ideal client on here. So your potential lead gets to know you and understand them and have a potential solution. They will remember, right? Because this is the first time they know that they came into your world because you had a solution that you were giving them. And then you give them the solution. That's the last part, the call to action. This is where you clearly tell them what your solution is and how they can get access. You tell them to sign up. If it's a live launch, click below to register for the workshop, for the webinar, for the challenge, whichever it is. So it's really, really important to just utilize and test these different messaging angles to obtain the highest and the best quality leads. That's what's gonna play the biggest role in getting the most out of your leads that are coming in through your Facebook ads. Whoa, hang on a second. So I just wanted to, again, just kind of stress out a little bit. Your messaging matters the most with ads. When you're clear on your messaging, once you have your ads going, what ends up happening is that you can just, relax. You can literally do what you want. Your ads are in the background. You're generating leads and doing so consistently. You're pulling out your ideal client. You're setting a strong foundation of how, of relating to them and letting them know how you're going to help them and giving them a solution in exchange for their email. And I did mention at the beginning of this too as well, I have a solution for you. So again, if you're interested in learning more ads, I'm gonna skip that part there, right? If you're looking to just kind of stop the love-hate relationship with Facebook ads and have a clear working strategy to get better results, if you're in a point where you're in a business where you're doing a lot, you're spending hours per day generating content and capturing leads for your launch, and you're feeling exhausted after it's done. It's one of those things where I talk to so many people and they're exhausted from launching. They don't really want to do a launch, but they know they have to in order to convert the clients, but it's exhausted for them because they're overdoing it. And when we come in, we're really helping them to take that off their shoulders so they can focus on their zone of genius. You have huge goals for your launch, but you're missing the mark when it comes to generating enough leads. And again, it's so common is you can only tap so much organically before you say, hey, I've hit my max. It's going to be really hard to get X amount of leads in just using organic approaches to socials and things like that. So you may have had some success with ads, but totally lost when it comes to scaling and don't want to dump a ton of money. Um, when it comes to running, if you're doing it yourself or a team member, it's just one of those things where you don't put a whole bunch of money if you're not really confident in running the ads. You want to have a clearer working strategy before you actually put a ton of money into it, and at least have that confidence behind it. And you're ready to start bringing in premium leads and scale your offers 6 figures. Then I want to invite you to potentially work with us to let us help you get there. Grow Automate Scale is a team of coaching industry experts. As myself, Jojo, our copywriter, graphic designer, our ads manager, our tech and funnel builders are experts when it comes to Kajabi, WordPress, Squarespace, to not just building the funnels, but also designing ads, not social media content, designing ads that work, that convert, that attract high-level clients through crafting great copy, and of course, generating the right strategy to execute and to actually obtain a multiple 5-figure, 6-figure, and head towards a 7-figure launch. So in all, we built over 100 funnels, quizzes, webinar, workshop, challenges, the emails, the sales pages, everything behind it, written all the copy. One kind of like a team that does it all, so you don't have to piggyback and try to link with a copywriter, try to link with a designer. We handle it all, so you can just relax and focus on your launch. We've managed over $1.2 million ad spend and have generated over $5 million of revenue for our clients through launches, through organic and evergreen strategies. So our team is really full of expert in this coaching industry to help to obtain results for our clients. So if you're interested in just kind of learning a little more and working with us, some of our clients have really just highlighted some of the things, such as responsiveness of working with our team. Our team doesn't really just set up and run ads. There are a lot of agencies who do that. We are a hands-on agency that's providing feedback. So like Liz says, you can rest assured your money is being well spent and generating the best results possible. Jessa would highly recommend Aqua on team for any and all ad needs, professional front easy to work with. And Christina, which is another one of our clients, we've helped to obtain multiple 6-figure launches too as well. We love working with her and she loves working with us. Kind of the summary of all that. So if you are looking to potentially hire out to get your business going, to be able to start using Facebook ads to scale and to get results, I invite you to book a call with me. It's a 30-minute Facebook ad strategy call. We'll go through what you have going on, the clarity on next steps to scale your ads, whether that's right away now or potentially in the future, if you're depending where you're working at. And there are some bonuses if you book now and you do decide to work with us. My team and I are going to do a full funnel audit on your entire business to help you identify potential leads, to help you optimize your content, your copy, your just optimize your funnel so you can obtain better conversions. And of course, a full ad audit, which will be part of it too, as well as a bonus to make sure that everything is working and is in alignment. So if you'd like to book that total free call, is bit.ly/gas call, Grow Automate Scale call. And you could definitely book that on there. I'll be happy to chat with you and talk about potentially how you can use Facebook ads to scale your business, to launch your offer, and to start getting results. So that's it for the presentation, the workshop today. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. Feel free to unmute yourself too as well. And of course, definitely take advantage of booking that call with me if you'd like to. I'd be happy to go over that with you too as well. So I know there was a question in here from Joellen, which are there any type of ads that you find work best? And I did mention that there's a huge focus on just the copy. But in terms of often when people ask this question, it's often like a type of ads that work best. It's often related to more the lead magnet and types of like a lead magnet ad, so like a checklist ad or a webinar ad or a workshop ad or a 5-day challenge ad, things like that. Because again, when you dissect Facebook ad, when it really comes down to it, is image, video, copy, and headline. There's really nothing else to it other than that. What really is it? What makes a difference is the offer. What offer is behind it, and what's ultimately going to work the best. And when I say work the best, I'm talking about what gets an ROI and a return back for our clients, are the type of ads that attract their ideal clients. So it's meeting them at a point where it's clearly helping them solve a problem by giving them a solution, and it takes them through a funnel to continue that process to the point where it's, you're going to continue helping them solve a problem to go to a solution. So again, um, hopefully that answers that question on there. So thank you all so much for joining today. If you have any other questions, feel free to send me an email or DM or message me on Facebook. Other than that, schedule that call. I'll be happy to chat with you. And if you are catching the replay too as well, I'll be looking forward to seeing you if you do book that call. So other than that, enjoy the rest of your day and afternoon. And this is Arfan with Grow Automate Scale, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.